Thank you so much for coming on to a brand new episode of Inside CG. You are our very first member to be in this podcast. So I'm not sure if you're aware, I'm a big fan of yours. I think
Oh, thank you.
to
I'm,
have
I'm
you
honored.
as a member in our community, someone that I look up to, I think the people in a community really make the place special.
I'm listening.
I think you can get caught up on having the best gear, the best this, but it's really about the people that makes it what it is. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Go to town. Like, who are
Okay.
you? What do you do? What do you run?
Okay.
Yeah, and let's go.
Okay. So, hello everybody. I feel honored to be with you today and be the first member in that podcast. I'm Michael Gendy. I'm a doctor. I'm a GB. I specialize in skin cancer and cosmetics. I was born in Egypt and I grew up there till 28. Moved to Australia here. I started working for a company as a GB. And then I started my own medical center 2011
Yep.
under the brand of Jupiter Health. Historical, we were the first ever medical center who opened 7 days a week bulk billing.
Oh, okay.
We started the bulk billing system in WA. So historically, we changed the map of general practice
Yeah.
in West Australia. And now we have about 30 old medical centers, 30 plus,
Wow.
around WA, all
Yeah.
the way to Port Hedland, north and south to Busselton, and in between.
Yeah.
We have multiple arms of Jupiter, skin cancer clinics, which is for more mapping. We have cosmetics. We started a hair clinic, and we have an oak health as well. I am. I was married, and I have 2 kids, which I share custody. I look after them every weekend, and I love them to death. They are my beautiful successors, and they're good kids. So I'm proud having them. That's about me. I joined Champions. I think we're 2019.
Were you
One of
boxing
the
before, or did you
I
start
did I
boxing?
did I did boxing before with So as a whole, the
Oh, yeah.
UFC,
Yeah.
and he started me in boxing, and then he got busy, and then I started to look at I want to do more regular type of exercise. That's where champion came to join.
Yeah, so you became a doctor and then you kind of navigated towards this side of it. What was in your heart that made you specialize in the areas that you did?
In general, I when I was young, my mom is a nurse, or used to be a
Yeah.
nurse. She's retired now, so she used to take me to the hospital with her, and I just when I go there, just subconsciously I just love medicine. It's just my forte, and I felt it was good. It was good. Something I want to do something like I want to do that. And now when it's like 12, 13, I was in a very competitive like state team in soccer, and then I was like, okay, like between the two, I need to study to go in medicine, and I did. Also, I love soccer, like doing soccer. So, but I had to choose. You can't do both.
Mm.
So I decided to do medicine. Uh, love being a doctor. I love helping people. I love uh, communicating with people. I'm a people person. People in the gym may not see me that way.
It's probably your time to zone out.
Yeah, that's it. But in general, when I am in the medical center, I'm very present.
Yeah.
Also, there's a bit of artistic part in me. I
Yeah.
take that from my mom as well, and that's where I start to be looking to doing the skin, do the cosmetic part, because I wanted to mix the part of how to make people feel and look better at the same time using my skills and knowledge. And that's
Yeah.
where the cosmetic and the skin cancer came.
And what is like to you, what's like a successful patient or a successful day at work? Like, you might send a client home and they're just feeling really good about themselves, but what's that to you?
Uh, find diagnosing an early dangerous disease,
Yeah.
whatever it is, and manage to clear it out. So, for example, if skin cancer, one of those aggressive melanomas, diagnose them, take it out on the spot, and patient goes home, have a peace of mind. That's big. That's big.
Yeah.
Those days when you get patients like you save lives, you get like, for example, like I got a baby who's coming blue, like 3 months old,
Yeah.
to come to the reception, and the girls always, if I'm in the practice, the first to go is me. Like it's gonna be me because it's just cool, calm, and just go and just manage things. And that day, my son actually was helping out in the reception, so he saw the whole scenario, and then I managed to get the baby out from blue to back to normal color, happy, laughing, and then the like it was great. It was good to see that. And then of course when they get your son said that, yeah, you saved the baby's life. Yeah, that's why we do that.
Yeah.
That's what we do. That's why we love doing this. So leaving an impact on people's life in general, that's what makes my day.
Yeah. Awesome. I love that. And owning a business, being a doctor, how many hours are you averaging a week?
Yeah, I can't count. I literally
Has
because
it
I don't
changed
have.
over time as well? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Consulting wise, I used to do a lot of hours consulting. Now I do roughly 24, 26 hours being a doctor.
Yep.
The rest is meetings, managing. But I am very uh, quick and spontaneous. So I'm always in my emails, like even in like people just say like how you manage to reply to your Instagram, you reply to your emails so quick, like so quick. I'm just multitask. I do that all the time. Like
So men can
I'll
actually
be here.
multitask.
I know. We can. It's actually deep inside every man can multitask. We just cannot bother. We
Yeah.
just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But we actually can multitask. And I think that's being an entrepreneur, you have to have the ability to multitask and have to be able to prioritize your time. So, okay, I need to do this and that and that and that. Which one need to be done first?
Yeah.
And do that first, and then after all the others, you can do it within your spare time
Yeah.
between classes in the gym. Just go on an email very quick and reply to them. It's fine.
Yeah.
Prepare dinner for the kids, and while they're eating, I just go to my email and do my thing. So I make sure that I'm still present, but use that spare time to do other stuff.
I think, that leads me perfectly into kind of what I wanted to talk to you about. I know you had quite a physical transformation. Like, I think that, like, not knowing you from years ago, you've always like looked after yourself from what I can
Yeah,
see, and like, how
yeah,
you dress and the things that you
yeah.
have. But I know that you have gone and had a big transformation. Like, I think, how much weight did you lose before your fight?
So I was sitting when I got to champion, I always sit around 82, 83, and fluctuate between that to 89. It
Yeah.
depends on. I'm a stress eater, so when I'm stressed out or not happy or things happen in my life, I eat.
Yeah.
So I like boom high up. Also, I love my food. I like going out with the boys, and boys, or what we do. But like people think, oh, boys not out. They're gonna be like doing weird stuff. All what we do is just eat. We just eat, eat and drink. Like we go
Yeah.
like Chinese and we just eat. So boys trip when those things. I always come back in 89, 90 kilos,
Yeah.
and uh, once I joined the champion, I started to be more regular in exercising, and
Yeah.
then COVID has hit, and then I also hit rock bottom in that time in my personal life a bit in when the COVID hit.
Yep. Join the club.
Uh, yeah, exactly. And that's 3 months, and the champion was closed. And I was like, okay, well, I need to do something. I'm not feeling well. So I started to take running on. And
Yeah.
then running started taking me into a different headspace. And then when the champions opened back, and then I started to continue doing my regular routine, weight loss, doing sack, building more muscle, doing boxing, and mixing the two of them. And I started to do 2 classes, 3 classes a day.
Wow.
And I started to watch what I eat. And then I started to drop, and I started to be roughly just under 80, so 79, and sat in that between 78 and 80, 78 and 80.
Yeah.
And I started to do a lot in the club with champion, and then kept that, and then the idea of me fighting came up, and then I was looking at, okay, what am I gonna do? Then we were looking at maybe just drop to 75, and before my first fight, I remember I dropped to 73. And I
Wow.
was like, yeah, it's like,
You looked
oh, should I?
amazing.
Yeah, like I really was so fit, just so fit. And I was like, at the time, I actually like didn't even really take it as a diet as like you guys do. Like,
Yeah.
like when you do Muay Thai, you drop that much.
Yeah.
You are really, really strict in your diet. I wasn't that strict. That's why I came and I bought a poll. Should I drop to 71 and fight in 71, or I continue at 75?
Yeah.
And the first fight when I fought, I still went with 75, and I was 73 and a half. And like Tim told me to eat up before the fight because
Yeah.
I need strength. I did felt that I'm not as strong if I dropped to 71.
Yeah.
The second fight, I was 76 before the night before, and then I dropped that 1 kilo, and
Yeah.
then fought in 75. I was way stronger.
So you actually felt a big difference.
Yeah, definitely. 71 is too light for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously with the work, with business, something that I see all the time owning a gym is, and I think it's a big thing with men, especially in higher responsibility roles, or business owners or entrepreneurs, their health becomes like the last thing on their list because
Yeah.
they're so busy, replying to those emails, meetings, trying to develop the next product, doing consulting.
Yeah.
And someone like yourself who really values health, does it make your business better? Like the flow-on
Way better.
effect? Yeah.
Way better. Staff get inspired.
Yeah.
Other doctors get inspired. Patients get inspired.
What type of questions do they ask you? Because I can't
Yeah,
imagine.
like what do you're looking good.
Yeah.
Like you really, like every year you look better and better. Why you do, and I tell them like this what is the secret. I tell them I make exercise regular. I do boxing. And a lot, of course, that's another stigma. Being a doctor and like doing boxing is like, what? like are you crazy? Like, why are you doing boxing? You didn't know about the head injuries and stuff. I tell them like, boxing is not all head injuries. You have gear and stuff. It's a great fitness. You don't have to fight as well, but it's a great sport. Either
I'm
Muay Thai or
obviously going to
boxing is a great
advocate it,
sport.
but I think it's like finding that thing that you love. It might not be
100%.
boxing, but I think people overlook how much being healthy flows in your life in a positive way.
100%. And being stressed at work, that's why I like boxing or Muay Thai. Muay Thai I couldn't do it because I kicked soccer ball forever. So I couldn't get my head around how to kick the ball. So even like I have a high kick. Like till now when I try, I do have a high kick, but it's a weird shape of high kick, like a soccer high kick. So I couldn't do Muay Thai as such. But I find it's boxing is very distressing. Like when I'm stressed, when I'm really frustrated, I just hit the bags and you feel way better, feel more relaxed. Like even my ex just told me like, oh, last 2 years you are a lot calmer.
Yeah,
like,
you're too tired to be angry.
Like you got all that the anger, the stress, you got all in the bag. So you're actually more calm. You're like more pleasant to be around.
What me and Pramon say is, especially for men, is like you need that testosterone release. Like we're supposed to hunt.
Yeah.
And I think men are on the desk the whole day behind the computer and they don't have that area of their life where they can be what men are supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that's obviously where boxing has helped you to be calmer.
100%, 100%. And it helped me a lot. I'm in general a competitive. Like I like competition. I compete in everything, and uh, that like initially from the beginning when I was studying medicine, because I had a group of friends who's even high school group friends. They are like bookworms. They study hard, and they are the one. I normally procrastinate. I study the last minute, but
Yeah.
because of them, I studied harder. So because I compete with them,
Yeah.
so competitive sports is always great. It's always great, and having something to get this stress out is beautiful. And definitely having being a doctor, you need to feel and look good, so be able
Yes.
to help people because you
Yeah,
can't
like fill your
like
own
go.
cup first.
Exactly. You can't just
Yeah.
go and say the patients they coming to you and they are stressed or depressed and they're not happy and you are the same. What you gonna preach and what you gonna say to them? Like you can't say anything, or they are struggling with weight and then you are struggling with weight. What are you gonna say to them? It's like, oh, you do this and do that. They will look at you as like, why don't you do those things? So
Yeah.
it's important to do what you preach and and
Exactly.
and and in general, what I do in life, and even I tell the kids, is I rule by example. If I want anybody to do anything, I do it first. So when we had the first 24/7 medical center ever in WA, it was Harvest Lakes, and the night shifts, the first few night shifts, I did them myself.
Yeah.
Then when I asked other doctors, can you do those night shifts? They would say, yeah, of course, we did it. You're the boss. You don't need the money. You don't need the time. And you did it. So I wrote by example. So I follow that in everything, even with my patients. So it's important to keep fit, look good, be happy,
Yeah.
and yeah, everybody
And
will follow.
something that I often see you do is like on your stories on Instagram, like you do your saunas. So like I think it's like holistic approach. When you're a doctor, it's straight, like crazy stress. Boxing is actually very stressful, like it's high
And
intensity. And then I always see you make time for things like saunas and like, do you get massages and things like that?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
always, always.
Yeah.
I like my me time, my me day. Especially
Yeah.
after work, and so gym is part of my me day. So if I have day off, I always schedule the maximum effort in that day, like 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever I can
Yeah.
do. And also I do some massages in that day. I do meditation. I go for a run or a walk. I just do my things what make me happy. I also like because you are always surrounded by people and always.
Yeah.
So when I have a me day, I just me day. Just
I'm
close the
exactly the
doors.
same.
Yeah, exactly. I switch TV. I just choose the random movie, whatever I want to choose, just because I choose it. Because it's me, like it's
Yeah.
me time, and it's precious. And you know what? This is where you fill your cup because
Yeah.
with being in our positions in general, your cup is always going to continue filling other people's cups, being your patients, your staff members, your friends, your colleagues, and it's important to refill that cup very often, other than it's gonna get dry and then you end up in a bad place.
Yeah. I love my own time. And people are like, how do you
Yeah,
love just doing nothing? And I'm like, I could be that person that goes to the movies by myself, eats dinner by myself. Like my time is so precious.
I know it's
Yeah.
crazy. The people I sometimes it's just in my me day. I just sit in the bed or in the car for an hour to nothing, not even scrolling my my phone. I just sit like that. it's
Yeah.
just to want to do a thing.
It's
Just
very
want to.
underrated.
It's important because actually the life is very fast. We live in a very fast pace. Once you are in a business and you're still fighting or you coaching, so you're doing the two things. When you coach and you do the business, is just like me consulting and running the business.
Yeah.
And fighting. So these three things what you do. So when you do that, their life is very very fast paced. Then you being a mother, having the kids, looking after them. So fast, 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 fast. So when you get a time that slows that down, that's when you fill your cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I find that's
Absolutely.
very important.
Oh, I love the float tanks. They're my thing. But just
I
ordered a
know, I
sauna
know.
for home. and I can't wait for it to come because just you can't have your phone in there; it's too hot.
I know, but also sauna. There's a lot of research about how important is sauna for your body,
Yeah.
for your serotonin, for your melatonin, for sleep. Also, there is new research coming out and about the sauna and the importance for your memory as well.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, we need to keep young. But yeah,
Yeah,
let's go to your fight. So
yeah,
you ended up having two, hey? One win, one loss?
three,
Three.
three. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then you
The
were
first
signed up
one,
for the fourth, and then you got that COVID like 3 days before.
that's the funny story. I always tell that story. It's very funny.
Yeah.
So the whole thing. I wasn't planning to fight, of course. Like
Mm.
like when I started with so I was just for a hobby, and then when I came to champion, I agreed to level one, and then I was one of the experience. I was there to like in the fighter boxing team
Yep.
fighters, and I used to come to Highgate to train with them. But I was always there to prepare the others. Like when somebody like Jordan or
Yeah, I
anybody was
noticed
gonna
that.
fight, yeah, I was there to inspire them, get the best out of them, to get them ready. And I remember one of the classes in Highgate was like asked, it's like, who wanna fight next year? And everybody put his hands up, and I didn't. Like, it's like
Yeah.
I'm not going to fight, And then Nathan came to me and said, "Oh, there is a Masters game coming into Perth, and this is doesn't happen that often. So I would like you to fight in there." And it's like, and I looked and listened to him. I was like, "Yeah, why not? It's a good idea."
Yeah.
Uh, then I put in my mind and I started to look it up, and I said to him, "Well, I would like to have a fight before, then I get the feel how that looks like."
Yeah.
Uh, so the whole thing was preparation for that Masters game, which is the fourth
Oh
fight.
no.
Yeah, like for 2 years,
Oh
literally,
no.
none of the team, like John Shrimpton, none of them was actually going to do that. It was
Yeah.
just me at the time, like at
Yeah.
the time. So I got the first fight, and I didn't know what to expect. It was really different, like
Yes.
than sparring, completely different. And I lost that fight, but it didn't put me off.
Yep.
Like a lot of people, when they lose the first fight and you get hit hard, it's like, oh, like no, it's not for me.
I think you got
Uh,
the resilience from running the business.
yeah, most probably, most probably. Or for me, it's like I don't like to lose. Like it's
Yeah.
like I've been putting so much effort, and I just like, okay, what did I do wrong? What I haven't done, and what I need to do next, and I work on it with the coaches.
Yeah.
So uh, the master game at the time supposed to come in last year in October.
Yep.
And so I had the first fight in July, and then because of the COVID mark, kept the borders closed. Then the match is going to be cancelled. Then the WA boxing decided to do what we say was like a test game. It's like for masters boxing, but for WA boxers.
Mm.
So I did that semi final and I won that. I did very well actually that fight, and then the second day was the final,
And that was
and
exactly like 24 hours later.
yeah, 24
Did you feel
hours, yeah.
tired? Did you have to make weight again?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
actually, it was lighter.
Yeah.
So the first one, I was 75.5 in the
Yeah.
semi-final, and then the final, I was 74 and a half. Like,
Yeah.
but after the fight, I weighed myself, and I was 77, 76 and a half. Then I called
Wow.
Tim, and it was so scared. Like,
Yeah.
Tim, I'm 76 and a half. What am I gonna do? And I said to me, still eat something,
Yeah.
but very light. Don't eat carbs and stuff,
Yeah.
and don't load too much water. I
Yeah.
decided to not eat anything, just in case. Just in case. And I went to have a hot bath, and then I wake up in the morning, weigh myself 74 and a half. It's like, perfect.
Yeah.
Then I went there. The fight was 1 o'clock, so I had a good breakfast. I had full of energy. And the final, to be honest, everybody watched Erica, Tim, and Josh in my corner. Everybody know that I won that fight. And we don't
Yeah.
know up till now how, but this is,
It's just boxing. boxing.
It's boxing. Yeah, it's boxing.
Yeah.
It's like he had a point deducted because he was grabbing me to not let me punch him, and then he had 8 seconds count, and still won the fight. No
Yeah.
idea. No idea.
It's just, I know I've seen so many dodgy decisions in boxing when you're like, we know, yeah, but anyway, we won't say too much. But
Yeah, like
and
he even didn't believe that. Like my opponent didn't believe that he won. It's like, what? Like, yeah, really? It's like,
that's so cool. I love this. I love that you go back to work, being a doctor, and the other doctors will be like, oh, who's this crazy boxer guy? That's
I
just
know
the
they
best.
came watch me actually. They
Yeah,
came and watch me. Yeah, some of
really.
them. Yeah. Some of my friends, the docs, they came and watched me. It was fun. It was
That's
good.
so funny.
And
And
my
then
son
obviously
came and
by
watched
the
me
end
as
of
well.
this, oh, what did he think of that?
He loved because he came in the semi-final and he saw me
Yeah.
like he was screaming, "Dad, Dad!" And it was good. It was good. He was
Oh my
excited.
God, that's
Yeah, it
so
was good.
cute.
It
Did you
was
get a photo
good.
after together?
I think we not really. No,
Yeah.
didn't get it together.
Yeah.
No, but I have videos. I have videos of him.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
beautiful. I
yeah,
really
yeah. It
love
was
that.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really good. I'm trying to get him into boxing, but he's not interested yet. So
Yeah.
he's doing rugby at the moment. So let him enjoy that.
Yeah. I think it's just
Yeah,
they need to do what they need to do. Like
yeah, that's it.
Björn doesn't come in the gym too much because I don't want him to ever feel like he has to fight.
Yeah,
Yeah, like he has to decide what he wants to do. But that's just like what I think.
yeah. But he's a go. When I see all the Instagram stories, he's a go getter.
Oh
He's
man.
he's fearless. That kid is fearless. He gonna do something very fearless. Like most
Yeah.
probably, I see him more of a racing, like do car racing in London.
Yeah, it's
He's good.
crazy, hey. And he's just
Yeah,
loves music, so he's obviously like quite mathematical. Um,
he have that brilliant shiny eyes. You know those eyes, that smart eyes. He's gonna be good. He's gonna be a good kid.
and
Yeah.
and what's the big goal for the end of the year? I know that we've been talking about it, but tell us.
Yeah, yeah. So because I didn't make it to the Masters games because of COVID from Jude, my coach.
Yep, thanks,
Don't
Jude.
tell him. Don't tell him. Thank you.
Yeah.
I always tell that story. It's like how funny it is that I work as a doctor. I have all these people getting sick. They all COVID, and I didn't catch it. And then I catch it from my coach who was preparing me for the fight.
Yeah.
That's what. So I had a chat with him, and I think we definitely my chapter of boxing still hasn't come in. I didn't get a closure yet.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna try to do the Pan Pacific boxing competition in November. I think
In Queensland, hey?
that's in Queensland.
I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that. How do you know
yeah.
when your
So
chapter's
hopefully.
done?
Uh,
Is it in your heart or your head?
yeah, it's in your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, not in your head. Come on, I'm in my 40s, early 40s, and it's like every joint is falling apart, and
It
and,
feels.
and I know, and yeah, and it's like my joints telling me that chapter is closed, and
Yeah.
then it's like no, my heart knows it's not yet. So
Yeah.
your heart will know.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much for jumping on with me today. I think
Thank you.
people would be very surprised in how inspirational you are because I know that when you do come to the gym, you just come to train and it's your time and it's filling up your cup. And I actually think those messages are so important for people to learn from. Like, you have to be selfish to be better in the
100%.
right way. But I also know that you are an extremely generous person. Like, you are the person that's happy to corner or help or be the sparring partner, not the
Always.
fighter. So I'm so proud of you for, like achieving some of your own goals.
Thank you,
Um,
me.
but if anyone wants to get in touch with you for work-related things, how do they do that? Bit of a
Well,
plug?
yeah. Well, you got my Instagram, Dr. Mike the Brewer, and you
Yeah.
also have my email address. You can always come to get in touch with you, but also we're gonna have a billboard
I know.
I know
Yeah.
in Myri, and that
Yeah.
will have the app, and you guys more than welcome to download and see one of our doctors. But also, if you wanna see me, I'm always in the boxing group in Champions and the Facebook and also in Instagram.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mike, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks, Whitney. See you soon.